Hey everybody, it's Kevin from Baystate. It has been a while. It's been a few months since I've been on here. I got my soda. We are ready to roll with our first Baystate After Hours of 2022. All right, no better way to celebrate than with the 25-year anniversary of Canidae. So with us today, we have both Derek and Nicole.
Hello.
How's it going, guys? Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I don't know
we're
if you guys got
excited.
my hats in the mail or not. I tried sending them over, but
Looks
Oh my
great.
God. That's awesome.
I figured we need to, we have to go big with this. This is a big event for you guys. So
It's a big celebration.
Absolutely.
Yeah. 25 years.
sadly, Megan wasn't able to join us. She's another candidate representative, but we have you two. So we're just going to get right into it. So Derek, why don't you start? Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Yeah. So I am the territory sales rep for Southern New England, covering Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts. And I've been on board for almost a year now.
Yeah, pretty close.
And time's been flying and loving every minute.
Yeah, time's been flying because you just had a kid. Congratulations
Yeah.
on that.
Thank you.
That's so exciting. We're so happy for you. That's awesome.
Yeah, no, it's been an experience. So yeah, another member.
She's
Perfect.
adorable. Yeah.
Is she? I haven't seen pictures yet. Next time you come in, you're gonna have to show us pictures.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to with the dog.
Yeah. And Nicole, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah. So my name's Nicole. I am the district sales manager for New England with Canidae. I actually started out as the territory sales rep in 2019 for Maine, New Hampshire, and Vermont. I have four Great Danes and a 5-year-old daughter. So Derek, I totally get the lack of sleep thing, but it's all worth it, I promise.
Yeah.
And this is 2019 with Canidae was my first foot in the door with the pet food industry. And it is just, it's like the funnest industry. It's awesome. So very excited to be here.
It really is. This industry is awesome. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So before we get into it, we are going to do some giveaways today. So let me put on the banner here. What did I do with it? Here we go. So we have 2 ways for you to win today. So we have this way. All you have to do is comment your pet's name in the comment section, and you'll be entered. And I actually have a new way of being able to give away these prizes today. So I'm very excited about that. And then in the comments, I am going to put in a link where you can go in and just fill out the information and you have another chance to win. So actually you could win 2 prizes tonight, which is pretty cool. So you can win 2 baskets. And the baskets, they have some Canidae swag. They have some dog toys. They have, some free food too. Right, Derek?
Yeah, a little bit of everything.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for giving this to us. We have some. Patricia says, "Congratulations, Derek."
Oh, appreciate it. Thank you, Patricia.
So we're gonna go right into it with about Canidae. So I have this little video that I want to play first. Not that one. Not that one. We're not done yet. Let's see this one.
With more nutrients and protein per cup and wholesome, sustainable ingredients, every bite of Canidae is a world of goodness for pets and the planet.
Canidae! Okay, so we're just going to get right into it. So what is Canidae? Canidae has been around for 25 years, right? So let's get right into it.
Yeah, sure. I'll give you a little quick history about Canidae. So we were founded in 1996 by John and Scott. who started off selling Canidae bags out of the back of their own personal pickup trucks. So this was truly a grassroots organization from the beginning. And these guys had one common goal, which was to build a pet food based on quality food and ingredients. And something that we still hold strong to today. And we happily encourage our customers to flip over one of our bags and check for yourselves. And I think just educating yourself on what goes into food and is a big part of what I do. And something I encourage customers to do is just like we like eating healthy, it's important to make sure we're giving our pets that same level of healthy food. But in 2012, we opened our current home in Brownwood, Texas, which directly allows us to completely control and continue a hands-on approach to the manufacturing, testing, and packaging of all our food. And we speak a lot about a cycle of goodness. Good for the people, good for the pets, good for the planet. Meaning that we have more goodness in every cup. Premium proteins, wholesome grains, more nutrients in every cup. We don't use fillers in our food. No corn, no wheat, no soy, or animal byproducts. Good for the people. We have donated 500,000 pounds of food to the San Antonio food bank in the last year, something we're extremely proud of. So giving back is a big part of what we do as well.
Well, just as you say that, I actually have some of those articles up.
Oh,
okay. Like you guys actually won the Hunger Fighter of the Year, for San Antonio for the food bank. You guys donated. It says over 800,000 pounds. That's insane. That's a lot of food. And obviously we all appreciate that very much. So that's one thing about Bay State is like we take a lot of care in the food that we take in. Like not only we don't just take in food just to have it, like there's got to be a reason for it. And like you touched on, you guys are great for the community. You guys are sustainable too, and getting better at sustainability as well. Like every year you guys have something new going on, the new packaging, recycling, it really is amazing to watch.
Yeah. And actually that last point you just hit on, Kevin, was good for the planet. So we've partnered with U.S. farmers to adopt new forms of regenerative farming in agriculture that basically minimizes the negative effect on farmlands. So it's hitting on all 3 points of good for people, good for the planet, and good for the pets, because it is bigger. We're doing more than just selling dog food. It's a mentality, and it's something we're pretty proud of.
Yeah, the farming innovation is very cool. Obviously, of course, the foundation is no-till farming, but our partners are actually getting into robotics and just so many things that are based on sustainability and goodness for the planet.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what it's all about too. Exactly. You're not just here just to make a presence for now, but make a presence for the future as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
There was another thing I saw as I was looking up that article that you guys won the award, was this one here, which I found pretty amazing too. This is a little bit of an older article. It's 2017, but you guys actually sent out food to the hurricane relief. When there was the huge hurricane in Texas, you guys sent out food to make sure that everyone that got hit hard with the hurricane had food for their pets. And
I actually didn't know about this one, Kevin. That is awesome.
I didn't either.
Really?
I didn't either, if I'm being honest.
It came up in my search. It's a little bit old, but it's awesome. The company itself really does a great job. So
that means a lot. We're all here for a greater purpose. So if we can align with that, that's amazing.
So let's talk a little bit about the ingredients you guys use, and then we're just going to go right into the questions that we get every day about our pets' health. So, what kind of ingredients do you guys use in your foods?
So, Derek, do you want to lead this one or do you want me to jump in? I'm always happy to talk.
Yeah. So our ingredients, it's again, I'm very proud of I knew the first week I was working for a good company when my boss was like, go out there and just flip over bags and read ingredients. I felt pretty good about that. But no, it's depending on what it is, we use, as far as the meats, we use good proteins. And then the actual meats are backed by the dry, actual, what's the word I'm looking for? The dry,
meat meal.
yeah, dehydrated,
which is
meat.
just dehydrated meat. Yeah.
So, and then wholesome grains, and yeah, it's each one's pretty good. And then depending on, we're pretty proud of sourcing a majority of our ingredients in the United States too. That's something we're proud of. We work with local farmers to source these ingredients. Again, just going back to being proud of what's behind it. But I mean, there are fish that we source from outside the United States. But
Yeah,
we
so
try
I was
our
just
best
I was
to-
just going to touch base on that. So I tell people all the time, like, you want to make sure that the majority of the food is sourced in the U.S., but you're
Yes.
not going to get everything in the U.S.
Yeah,
And it's
correct.
not just because it's cheaper outside of the U.S. It's because you literally can't get it here. So like some like lamb, you can't get lamb here. That's always come over.
That's New Zealand. Yeah,
New
for us
Zealand,
normally. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there's always going to be some food that's going to come from overseas, but as long as it's coming overseas because of the sourcing, because you can't get it here, and not because of quality.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
Exactly.
Some companies will outsource outside the US because it's a cheaper quality and they can get it. You know. So
yeah, and we're very proud of the fact we're made in the USA, Brownwood, Texas, and yeah.
you guys do a lot with Texas, it seems like, huh?
Yeah, and we got a pretty awesome plant down there.
Is that where the plant is? I didn't know that.
The manufacturing, yes.
Yep.
Brownwood, Texas, and 2012 we opened that up, and we've been making improvements ever since.
So one of actually, speaking of our ingredients, one of my favorite pieces of our ingredients is our Health Plus solutions. So it's this blend, and it's proprietary, so it's just ours. It's this blend of probiotics, omegas, and then antioxidants. And I'm gonna go like total nerd here, but the coolest part is that we literally spray it on after we bake our food. So we can actually, it's like in our guaranteed analysis. So when we say we have probiotics, we're completely standing behind it. Like, one of these days I would like to get a microscope and actually look, because you're supposed to be able to see live probiotics, excuse me. So that's a pretty cool part. Approximately 70% of your dog's immune system is in their gut. So, I mean, just like us people, we take probiotics every day. You want to make sure you're doing the same thing for your dog as well.
Yeah. And that's a great point. And the reason we put it on after is so it's not, those probiotics are not killed off during the baking process.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why it goes on after, to ensure the levels are there when it's bagged and packaged.
So I'm not sure where you guys live. I know you guys live kind of close because you come to visit us often.
Yeah.
But in Massachusetts, actually, they just outlawed goat's milk for animal consumption in the beginning of this year.
Okay.
So knowing that your food actually has probiotics on it, that's a guaranteed analysis, is a huge deal, because that was the whole purpose of having the goat's milk, was to add that extra probiotics into your pet's diet.
God.
And it's the beginning of January, the state said no more. You can't do it for animal or human consumption.
Interesting.
Yep. So that is actually a big deal that your food has a probiotic guaranteed analysis on it. And I did not know that, but I'm happy to know that now.
I'm so proud of it. Yeah, that's like my favorite part about our food, honestly. And we have a lot of cool parts about our food.
Yeah, but that one's really cool because I don't know of anyone else that does that. At least not off the top of my head. So.
Yeah, not that I can think of. Yeah, we've been pretty excited about it, and we've done it. To my knowledge, we've done it since day one. So.
Yeah.
Perfect. Is there anything else you guys want to touch base on before we start getting into some of the most common questions that we get?
No.
I'm ready. Let's get into it.
Dive in.
All right, let's dive in. Hold on. Let me pull these up. So just so everyone knows, if you have a question, feel free to ask it because we will have it right up on the live stream. And obviously, as always, if one of us can't answer it, I will find the answer for you. I have local vets that I talk to. I'm sure there's people at Canidae that we can talk to. You guys probably have people that, that would answer some of these questions. So
definitely,
we'll just get right into it.
Sounds good.
Oh, Brian Maxwell commented. He said there's 100 million probiotics guaranteed.
Yes.
Is that true? Do you guys know if that's true?
On our all life stages, that is guaranteed in our analysis. Yeah.
Wow.
He's done his homework.
He
Look
has.
at that, huh? And Donna, yeah, sadly, that is true. The state came out at the end of December. Actually, they didn't give us much time at all. They gave us the week of Christmas and said no more goat's milk for animal or human consumption unless it is from the actual farm. So you can't get frozen goat's milk anymore at your local pet supplies. You can only get true raw goat's milk from an actual goat farm. As far as the regulations go for that, I'm not too sure. That's beyond me. But yeah, sadly, that is true. So hopefully, there's a petition going around hoping to be able to change that. But it's good to know that we can at least feed Canidae to be able to get some of that extra probiotics into your dog's diet because it is definitely necessary.
Very important. So, yeah, absolutely.
All right. So the number one question we get all the time is very basic. How much food should you feed your pet?
Yeah.
Oh, so to start this off, I always want to reiterate, you should absolutely consult your vet every time. We are not veterinarians, but every dog food bag, at least every dog food bag at Bay State, is going to have recommended feeding on the back of the bag. And typically it's based off of often it's just your weight. Sometimes the company will go into their age, their activity level. Totally depends on the company. With Canidae, the cool part about us is our food is very, very dense. And that's because of our high Kcals, which we'll get into in a little while. But because of how dense our food is, for example, with our all life stages multi-protein, you only have to feed 2 cups a day for a 50-pound dog. So, which is a lot less than a lot of our competitors out there. And we're very proud of it. And end of the day, this sounds gross, but the less food your dog eats, the less mess you have to pick up in your backyard. So I'm always excited about that.
It's not gross. It's life. That is a way of life. Yep. And I use that all the time. The more that your dog is absorbing, the less that's going to come out.
Yes.
Yeah. No. And that is a good point. And then in regards to, it depends too on the size, the breed too. There's a couple variables you should take into account. But we are pretty proud of the fact that it's less food that you have to feed, and that 30-pound bag, that 44-pound bag will last a lot longer due to that fact because you're feeding less. It makes a big difference. And it helps your pockets out too.
Yeah,
sure. Definitely. Another one of our lines that Bay State actually, you guys just introduced this line, Kevin, the CA line.
Yep. We literally just got it in last week.
Yes, that's awesome. So the CA line, we customized it based off of your dog's, not only your dog's size, but also their activity level. So CA 20 would be based off of like, I don't know, say my parents have a 10-year-old lab and he's probably best on the CA 20. The CA 30 would be like a medium active dog. And then the CA 40 is a great fit for like, say if you take your dog jogging every day or you have like a high performance working dog, it's perfect for that. So we based it off of like, so the CA 40 is like 40 grams of protein per cup or higher. And then 30 is 30 grams of protein, and obviously 20 is 20 grams. So we looked at not only like how much to feed your dog, but also like the appropriate protein levels for your dog as well. So it's really like a fully integrated, customized approach to how you want to feed your dog.
Yeah.
And that's huge that you guys actually like did the research into it and knowing exactly how much that was going to be in there. And you didn't just like whip a batch together and send it out.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know? Yeah, absolutely.
So we did actually, I do want to ask you guys about Kcals because you did mention that, Nicole, but somebody did ask a question, and Patty just wanted to know if there was anything for their joints in your food.
Yeah, so we have glucosamine added in all of our food. And in fact, our All Life Stages large breed has extra glucosamine added just to support the larger joints.
Yeah,
we're definitely going to talk about that later because your large breed is literally my most exciting food that I have. I love your large breed. Yeah. So I can't wait till we talk about that. We're going to talk about it at the end, but your large breed is my go-to food for bigger dogs. So
good to hear.
So cool.
Perfect. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about Kcals.
Yeah.
Yeah. So honestly, Kcals, it sounds very scientific and complicated and intimidating, but a Kcal is literally just a kilocalorie. Like it's just a short term for kilocalorie. 1 Kcal is equal to 1 calorie. So literally every AFCO approved dog food brand out there has to tell you exactly how many Kcals are on a bag. And the best way to look at it when you're trying to pick out a dog food and you're looking at it as a consumer is the more Kcals are in like a cup or however they're measuring it, the denser the food is. So it's just like people food. You just want to look at, the higher or the lower calorie.
Yep. And that's important to take in per feeding too. Yeah.
Yep. And then Teddy said that there's glucosamine in conjoined in every bag.
There is.
People are doing their homework.
Wow.
They're doing their research.
Doing their homework tonight. This is awesome.
Wow. That's exciting.
So, and another big question, actually, I just had to help somebody with this today. How often should you feed your pet? Should you be on a set schedule? Should you just do all day feeding? What's your recommendation?
That's a tough one. I would suggest consulting your vet, number one, because every dog is going to have their own needs. I personally, so I have Great Danes and they are grazers. So they will they get free choice and they get to just nibble whenever they want. But I don't think that's a good fit for every dog. So I would say definitely talk to your veterinarian. Derek, what's your feedback on that one?
Yeah, no, that's a good point. And every dog is different because, like you said, Nicole, there's some dogs you can put the food out and they will graze on it throughout the day. Other dogs, you drop it down. My in-laws, for example, beagles, you drop food down and that food is gone.
Yeah,
it's not. You don't have to worry about being there more than 5 seconds. I have a long-haired dachshund. I feed her twice a day, once in the morning, once in the evening. So it does vary. That is a good question.
It really does. And like you said, beagles, you see it a lot with labs also, and you see a lot with German shepherds. As soon as you put the food down, it's gone. Yeah. So if you have like a gravity feeder, that's not going to work probably for those dogs. More likely than not, that's probably not going to work.
Yes. Yeah. And that's something you got to take into account when trying to figure out how many times is right to feed your dog. Yeah.
And it seems like around like twice a day usually is the average. But like Nicole said, always consult with your vet ahead of time, just in case, because like they said, certain breeds need certain needs. So
yeah, definitely. And like, I think you're on point for sure, Kevin. It seems like most people do twice a day, but if you're thinking about, puppies, just like babies, it could be, more often, or
exactly.
I would definitely talk to your vet and get their thoughts on it.
Yeah.
That's a great segue into question number 2. What age is your cute little puppy not really a puppy anymore? I mean, obviously they're always a puppy in our eyes, but what age are they not a puppy? And when do you have to switch their food, if you have to at all?
So that's honestly another tough one. It totally depends on the breed. I think technically like a Chihuahua is done being a puppy at like 6 months or 9 months. But if you're looking at a giant breed, they could still be growing at 18 months or 2 years. So again, definitely like a huge variable there, but I would say that once you and your vet have agreed that your puppy is fully grown, that's when you can switch over to adult food. The beauty of we have lines where we have like a puppy line and then an adult line. Like for example, our Pure with Grain has a puppy salmon, and you can literally transition right into the adult salmon once they're ready, which is awesome. But then we also have our All Life Stages, which is just AFCO approved, nutritionally appropriate for puppies, adults, seniors, everything. It's easy, simple.
Now, I don't know if you guys know this. I'm trying to think about it, but I'm drawing a blank. Do you know if your regular ALS foods are large breed puppy approved also? I know most of them aren't, but I just didn't know if you guys knew off the top of your head if it was.
I don't think that it is.
I don't think it is either, because 99 out of 100 dog foods out there aren't. But you guys, but we're going to talk about it once a little bit longer. But your large breed, that
one is absolutely approved for giant breed puppies. That is actually, I have raised a couple of my Great Danes on the ALS large breed. It's a great line.
And the turkey is a great protein. And it's same reason it's a great protein for us humans. It is a more leaner meat, and definitely more protein. And like you mentioned, you do not see turkey too often as the main source of protein in most dog foods.
Exactly.
Especially large breeds.
That was actually question number 3, so that's perfect.
Okay.
We're flying through these.
Awesome.
We do actually have a couple of chat questions, so let's pull those up. John said he's a little nervous to switch his 1-year-old lab's food. Seems to be very sensitive stomach. Do you have something for sensitive stomachs?
Oh my gosh, absolutely. So I always recommend, and I actually think that you guys at Bay State had posted this suggestion on transitioning pet food, and how you recommend the best way to do it. So I always suggest a minimum of 10 days to transition. So you start at, I think, what is the rule? I think it's like 25% of your pet's food is the new brand. Correct. And then you slowly transition over. Couple of suggestions I would have is our All Life Stages chicken and rice. Chicken is such an easily digestible formula. It's a single protein. And then rice, it's similar to what is it called? Is it called the barf diet? That like old fashioned when your pet's not feeling so good, and it's just literally chicken and rice. So this really just mimics that concept, and it's just an easy one for a dog's stomach to digest typically.
Yeah. And like you said, most bags of dog food, if you look on the back, they actually say they recommend a 7-day period to switch over. And like Nicole said too, we recommend 10 days. I just feel like that's a little bit easier on the dog's stomach, especially if you're switching to a protein they've never had before.
Yes.
So that's actually one thing that I really like about Canidae is that you guys use multiple protein sources in your bags. A lot of them are single protein. So if your dog has been on chicken for its entire life for 2 years and you want to switch to like a lamb, that transition could make a difference in how he goes.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but what's kind of cool about the Canidae, just to touch base on it again, is that you guys use multiple proteins. So now you know that your dog has had chicken. If you use the ALS line, you know, your dog has had chicken, your dog has had turkey, your dog has had fish. And there's one more in there. There's one more. What is it?
There's we have a lamb formula too.
Yes, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
And that's a single protein as well.
That's a single. Yep. But yeah, it is. I mean, obviously consult your vet first always, but a recommendation that I have is to use the multi-protein formula to start your puppy out, because it is like, it's just like, it's the same idea as a kid. You expose them to those foods that they could get sensitive to, and it's going to help prevent that sensitivity later in life.
Yeah, it's a great point.
Now, there was another question on here somewhere. I thought I saw it. Oh boy, did I miss it? The comments are going crazy, so I might have missed it. I know it's here somewhere. I'm going to keep looking for it, but we'll go on to the next question while I'm looking for that. Looks like we are up to question 4, which I think is this one. What red flag should I look for when you're reading the ingredient label? So sometimes when you're reading the ingredient label, it could literally be like another language.
Yes.
You know?
So true.
So are there any red flags that you guys recommend, like while you guys are in the industry, that you may shy away from?
Yeah. And before dive into that, I think what's really important is people realize the order in which the ingredients are listed actually makes a big difference, right? So the very first ingredient you'll see, first, second, third, it goes in order of how much of that ingredient makes up that bag. And correct me if I'm wrong, Nicole, but the first 6 to 8 ingredients make up more than a majority of the bulk of the food.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
while
you're
you're
right on
reading
point.
it, those first 6 to 8 ingredients is extremely important. But that you make sure those are quality ingredients, because a majority of the bag could be composed of those ingredients.
Yeah, and Derek, just to speak on that, additionally, so when you look at Canidae's food, you're never going to see like, I don't know, like some type of grain as like the first ingredient, which is just a really good sign that, and you want to look at this with any pet food bag, not just Canidae, obviously. But when you see that meat first ingredient, that's a great sign that you're, first of all, sourcing the protein as a meat, not as, some type of, grain or lentil or whatever it might be. But it's actually coming from like a quality meat. So diving into ingredients that you don't want to see, again, I think a lot of it, like, it would just be very intuition based. So you could look at it just like a people food. Obviously, there's going to be some ingredients that look like a second language. Like I think Ted Silvio had commented and said chondroitin, which is just an unfamiliar word to a lot of people. But anything that, for the most part, a lot of ingredients that look like a second language are going to be ingredients that you don't want to see in your pet food. Additionally, you definitely don't want to see like corn, wheat, soy. Those are all ingredients that we avoid in our food always. They're all just going to be like high sugar, really not like they just don't give your pet like any nutritional benefit.
Yeah. And then exactly. On top of that, just another one, if you start seeing the word byproduct too many times connected to a protein, that might be something to avoid as well.
Which, I mean, realistically, according to AFCO, byproducts could be beneficial, but you have to make sure that the company is running ethically, which is a big problem in the industry. That if you guys look it up, all you have to do is do a quick Google search, and you can see there are some companies out there that don't run ethically all the time.
Yeah.
So even though like meat byproducts can be beneficial,
Yeah.
it's the companies themselves that you have to worry about sometimes. So
and like you said, is a vague term.
yep.
And I think there's a lot of room in that term between what can be detrimental to your pet's health and what actually might not be that bad. So that is a good point, Kevin.
Exactly. There was something else I wanted to say. Oh, and also people need to be aware, like you said, Derek, the first 6 ingredients are the most important. And the reason we say the first 6 is because marketing companies have gotten very smart with how they play on the ingredient labels. So even lower quality dog foods will have chicken meal as the first ingredient, but it's the ones that follow that matter. They'll put chicken in there, but chicken is 80% water to begin with. So what follows makes a bigger difference.
Absolutely. That's a great point.
Sometimes you'll see on a pretty package, chicken first ingredient, but when you flip it over, yes, chicken's the first ingredient, but B, C, D, it's not looking so good.
Yeah. There's chicken meal as maybe the 10th ingredient, which means there's not a lot of protein from the actual meat coming in that product for sure.
Exactly. And it can get crazy out there too this is gonna be a whole different segment, but getting into like the difference between seeing recipe in the name versus seeing like flavor in the name. It's wild how these marketing companies work, and that's why at Bay State we like to back up the ethical companies that run good quality ingredients. So all right.
And I think just being able to control the production and manufacturing and having the hands-on control to oversee makes a big difference, which is we're pretty proud of what we do in Brownwood, Texas with that.
Definitely. Yeah.
Oh, we have another question. This might have been the question I was looking for. I'm not sure. I thought there was an earlier one that I might have missed. But what's a good one for small dogs with stomach issues?
Oh, can I answer this one, Derek?
Sure.
Okay, so I would recommend our Pure line, specifically Pure Petite. It's literally just a special line made just for small dogs. The kibbles are like the tiniest thing you've ever seen. They're awesome. It's our Pure line, so it's going to be 10 ingredients or less. Probably my favorite protein or favorite formula, I should say, is the salmon formula. Salmon is typically a really easily digestible protein for a dog. And our entire Pure Petite line is raw coated. So it's also extra tasty for picky small dogs.
Yeah. So Nicole, what do you feed your Chihuahua?
Oh, he does get the Pure Petite actually. And he gets the Pure Petite wet as well on top. He's spoiled. He's getting older. He has like 4 teeth left. So
How old is he?
I have had him since I was in college. He's 11. He's 11.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He kind of just lives on our bed at this point, but
just hangs out. Yeah, hangs out.
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about this one. What tests are done to make sure that your pet food is up to standards and the highest quality?
So
obviously you guys can only speak for Canidae and the testing that you guys go through.
Yeah, absolutely. So I know obviously like there are tests that are done with AFCO as well. But I am not comfortable answering that one, but I can say that as far as our own tests go, we literally do like, I can't remember the number of tests. It's like it's in the thousands, I know, per day. So I think it's like Derek, correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's like every 30 seconds we do a quality test. So we are very like high quality control with our plant.
Yeah. And we, like you said, we do go above and beyond what AFCO requires.
Way above and beyond. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
That's great. And that's what a company should do, honestly. You know, AFCO is just like minimum standards.
Yep.
And then companies should be going above and beyond that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
If they're doing good quality food. So
absolutely. Yeah, no, we actually were able to get together at our headquarters in Stamford, Connecticut during Christmas, and I had the opportunity to meet everyone that works in the Brownwood plant. And those guys talk about passion. They almost put our sales team to shame. They're very, very proud of what they do.
Perfect. And just to remind everybody, we're coming down to the last couple questions. So make sure you comment your pet's name for a chance to win one of 2 baskets that we're going to give away.
Yep.
I am going to try to do it tonight, but it doesn't look like my drawing thing is working too well. It's supposed to be keeping track of the comments for me, and it doesn't look like it's really working. So obviously, because I'm losing some of these questions. So let's go right into the next one, which is, this is a good one. Let's go with this one. Should you be feeding just dry? It's supposed to be saying just feeding dry. Is mixing in a little bit of wet actually a bad thing?
I don't think it's a bad thing. Now the actual all life stages kibble, I mean, has all the nutrients that a dog needs. So I mean, everything, there's nothing. So if that's all you fed your animal, they would be more than fine. But I mean, feeding wet is just another special treat and bonus. It is hydrating as well, so the dog is getting that benefit from the wet, due to its moisture content. No, I think it's fine to feed a mix, and but the dry kibble, you are getting everything.
And our cans are also nutritionally, I believe the term is called nutritionally complete. So technically you could feed, like, that could be your dog's diet is the cans, and they would get everything that they need. So my Chihuahua is getting his full nutritional requirements.
So anybody who has followed any of my past videos knows that I am a big component for can. I think can should be added into every dog's diet. And just like you said, Derek, because of the moisture content.
Yep.
Yeah.
I keep telling people, like, your dog is eating only dry food. There's no real moisture in their food unless you're feeding like a raw that has a little bit of moisture left.
Yep.
When they're eating strictly kibble, they're not getting any of that moisture out of it.
Yeah.
Feeding a can, and good quality can, like feeding with Canidae can, really helps increase that moisture content in the dog. So I am a true, I don't think any dog food is complete without being topped at least a little bit of can.
Definitely. Definitely.
But obviously, as always, like I've mentioned many, many times, always consult with your vet. But that is just my true belief on it.
Yeah.
All right. And, this is a big one. So grain-free versus grain-inclusive. What do I do? So maybe we should just talk about a little bit of the benefits of both.
Yeah, absolutely. That is so Canidae's original line is the All Life Stages line. And that is grain inclusive. That's the line that we started with, 25 years ago. But we also have our pure line, which is grain free. So honestly, at Canidae, we believe that no food is going to be, like, no singular food is going to be a perfect fit for every dog.
Yeah.
Every dog is going to have such a wide variety of needs. I personally rotate, and I've fed my dogs the All Life Stages. I sometimes give them the pure grain free. So it really depends on what you think. And obviously always consult your vet. Sometimes dogs can have, sensitivities to grains or vice versa. Biggest benefit is definitely going to be like if you're feeding your dog a grain-free diet, especially a limited ingredient like our Pure line, they're going to most likely be getting more protein. So if you have a dog that's like a higher performance or a higher energy dog, or maybe like a hunting dog, a grain-free is definitely one to consider just because of that protein content. But a grain inclusive, gosh, they both have a ton of benefits and detractors, and it really just depends on the individual dog.
Exactly. It always depends on your dog's needs.
Yeah, exactly. I think they're both great options.
Yeah. And again, how the activity level, how many, because you think about it, and it's the same with people, the amount of energy that's being burned versus, what you're feeding them. So, I mean, that's a big factor as well that plays into it.
Definitely. Absolutely. And at Canidae, we add taurine to our grain-free food and to our grain-inclusive food, actually. So any, that's just additional knowledge as you're choosing your food, that we do have taurine added.
Perfect. We did have a question here from Brian Maxwell. He just wants to know, for a 50-pound dog, do you really only feed 2 cups a day for them?
Yeah. For a 50-pound dog at an average, whatever average means activity level, only 2 cups.
Yeah.
That's wild. That is wild. I was actually just helping someone today who had like a 45 to 50-pound dog, and one of the foods they were looking at was 3.5 cups.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a pretty big difference.
Yeah. And it goes back to, again, how much nutrients is in that single cup. What's the dog getting from that?
Yeah, take a look at the Kcals always.
Absolutely.
All right, I'm just trying to make sure I didn't miss any questions here. Oh, Brian Maxwell did have another question. I'm not too familiar with this. I don't know about you guys. Can you?
I just figured out how to look at the comments.
That's probably one thing I probably should have showed you guys beforehand.
Okay.
You guys logged on. We were chit-chatting a little bit, and we're like, "Hey, let's go live." I didn't even show you the platform.
Oh my God, no, it's awesome. So I have heard about like the.
Oh, he said he meant to say cooling meats.
Yeah.
Not cooking meats.
I've heard about like the hot and cold proteins and meats, but I'm trying to remember. I believe that turkey is technically a cooling meat. And the concept behind it is that like a hot or whatever, like a warm meat is going to be inflammatory, and then a cooling meat is the opposite. But I don't know a ton about it. I've like scratched the surface.
Yeah, I don't know much about that either. I mean, at first I thought he meant like cooking toxins, but I don't know much about cooling meats. Sorry, Brian. I'll get you an answer for that though.
Yeah.
We'll get back to you, Brian.
If there's a specific protein you want to know about, just let me know. Just put it in the comments, and I will. I'll send you a message, and I'll get your email, and I will get that answer for you.
Thank you for the question. We'll do some research.
Yeah, no, I like getting stumped every once in a while, because then that means, I'm still learning. I've been in the industry for 15 years, and it's ever changing.
No.
What's great about it is that the research changes. That's what's cool about it. The research just completely changes almost like every 5 years. It's like there's some new big thing that's going on.
Yeah.
All right. Now we're going to touch base real quick before we end the show on my favorite, the large breed. And the whole reason why your large breed is my favorite, because it's the only one I can think of where it's an all life stages large breed. And that is wild, because like I was saying earlier, in order to meet those needs for large breed puppies for AFCO, there's certain, I can't remember what the certain ingredient is, but there's a certain ingredient in there that you guys have to hit in order for it to be good for large breed puppies. And you guys hit that with an all life stages.
Yeah. Isn't that awesome? So some of the big, I'm not sure which one you're talking about, Kevin, actually. I'm going to have to research it. But to the top of my head, some of the big key points with our large breed is number one, it is a single source turkey protein, which turkey is like Derek mentioned, it's very, very easily digestible. It's a high protein meat. So it's a great nutrient source for your dog. Additionally, we have expanded glucosamine, DHA. DHA is really, really important for puppies' cognital growth, especially for giant breed puppies. And then chondroitin as well. And then, as always, we have the Health Plus solutions, which is our probiotics and antioxidants, and then omegas.
Did you have anything to add for that, Derek? It looked like you had something to say. No.
No. I think Nicole hit on all the
Yeah, I want to say it's a calcium level. I'm just trying to do a quick Google search.
Oh, yes. Oh my gosh. So the calcium to phosphorus ratio.
Yeah, because
yeah.
Okay, good. I'm not going crazy. Good.
Yeah.
No. I could go like total nerd. I love like large, and I'm still learning. Oh my gosh. I need to pick your brain someday. 15 years in the industry. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's a calcium phosphorus ratio, because that's why most all life stages aren't meant for large breed puppies, because it actually makes them grow too fast.
Yes. So I believe it's a 1. Oh gosh, it's like 1 to 1.2 ratio or something like that. And we do meet it, like we're literally perfectly in the middle. It's amazing. So calcium's really important. And then also, actually, when you're looking at like a large to giant breed pet food, especially when they're puppies, you don't want to have like too high of protein content typically. I mean, again, always consult your vet. But generally speaking, you don't want to have a super high protein content. And again, Kevin, that goes back to, just how fast they're growing. If they have higher protein, it could potentially trigger them to grow a little faster than you want them to. You want giant breeds to grow really, really slow.
Yep, exactly. We did have one question. I'm not sure if you guys know what the feeding ratio is of the large breed, but someone has 112-pound German Shepherd. 112 pounds. That's insane. That's
amazing.
That's a big dog.
Yeah.
That is a big dog. 20 months old.
I wish I had an ALS bag with me. I don't remember off the top of my head.
I mean, I am in the store. I could run over there and grab it. You know what? I'm just gonna go grab it. It'll take me 2 seconds.
Okay, go for it.
So you guys take over the show.
Awesome. We're taking over. We're guest hosts.
So 20 months old, 112.
Do you have any guesses? I'm gonna say it's like. I want to say like 4.5. I don't know, 4.5 cups.
What do you guys betting?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say about. Well, no, it would be more than 3.5, right?
Well, this is the food here, the large breed,
Yep.
and like I said, it's one of my favorites because it's the only one that's all life stages that I know of. If anyone knows of another one, let me know. All right, so 112.
Oh, Brian Maxwell says 3.5.
Oh, he says 3.5. Yeah.
He's betting 3.5. It says pound adult with exercise. So they do with exercise and less active. So with exercise is 4 5/8 to 5.5. Less active is 3 3/4 to 4.5.
Okay.
That's a good guess, Brian. You're right on it. It's a less
Close.
active German Shepherd.
Wow.
It's almost
Right
like
there.
you had a bag in front of you.
Yeah.
So I mean, 4.5 cups. That's really not a lot for a 112-pound.
No.
It's not.
112-pound animal. Because
No.
like I said, I was just helping someone today looking at another competitor's food. It was 3.5 cups for their 50-pound dog.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
let's see. Early showed up. Hold on. Of course, I got emails popping up and stuff.
Oh, that's a sweet comment from Donna.
Early showed up that the animals in Texas with a cat on the flyer. Does that mean you guys also make cat food? Oh my word! How do we not talk about the cat food? Oh man, we're here all excited about the dog food.
Oh my
I don't want
gosh.
to keep the show too much longer, but we'll touch base a little bit on the cat food.
Yeah, heck yeah. So I'll just Derek, if it's okay, I'll jump in and just give
Yeah.
a top level
Yeah.
on. Okay. So we have our pure cat food line. It's just like our dog food. It's always going to be meat first, 10 ingredients or less, and it also has our Health Plus solutions on it always. Our newest line, which Bay State actually introduced, is our Goodness line. So that is like I like to look at it as like a solution-based line. So you have skin and coat, you have joints, you have indoor, and then digestion. And it's all going to be like, it's very logical. So like when you look at the digestion, it actually has like increased fiber content. So it's not just like a marketing ploy. Like what we say is actually what we do. And like, what is the quote? Like the proof is in the pudding. Like you can literally just look at our nutrient facts and it's going to show exactly why we're saying, digestion, skin and coat, or whatever it is. And then we also have a great can line called Balance Full, which Bay State also carries.
Yeah.
Anything to add, Derek? No, you good?
No, that was it.
Taking it all in.
Yeah, that was. I can't believe we forgot the cat.
I know. I can't believe we
know.
forgot about cat food.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's a disappointment. All right, so we're.
But good question.
Oh
Thank
yeah,
you.
that was a nice comment from Donna. Thank you, Donna.
Really nice.
We appreciate that.
Yeah, that means a lot.
Thanks.
And then Brian Maxwell just said he heard that your new cat cans are low in phosphorus. Do you guys know about that, or?
Brian, you have done your research.
Yeah, he is on it.
Seriously.
I
haven't. So I know we just took in your new line, but I haven't personally checked it out yet. Usually I do some research, deep dive into it, looking at the phosphorus levels and stuff like that. So I guess if anyone has any questions, I'll forward it over to Brian. He seems to have all the information for us.
Seriously, come join us at Canidae, Brian.
Yeah, he says he loves Canidae, so
that's amazing.
That's great. Yeah, thank you for joining us, Brian. We should have had you as a guest. You should have DM'd me. I would have let you come on.
Yes.
Perfect. I just want to be sure one last time. I think I got all of the questions, and it looks like I did. It looks like I did. Perfect.
Amazing.
So that is it. Do you guys have any last thoughts that you want to say before we?
No, thank you, Kevin. I appreciate you having us on. This was great. This was awesome that we got to do this. So thank you.
Yeah,
of course.
Very excited to be celebrating.
I'm just gonna share my screen real quick to show you guys what I was gonna do for this giveaway, but it didn't work. There's no way we only got 7 entries. I know we got way more than that.
Yeah.
So it didn't keep track properly. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was something I did. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and I'm going, I know, Donna. There's always something. Every time I go on these live streams, there's always something. Well, when it's live, there's no going back and fixing it. Like, this is it. So it was my first time trying that. But I'm just going to go back. I'll look it all up. I'll put in a random generator. And we'll do the 2 prizes. I'll post them tomorrow. Thank you, Derek and Nicole. I appreciate the gifts that we can hand out to people. So,
gosh, our pleasure. Thank you, Kevin.
Yeah,
perfect.
This was great.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you for your time.
I really appreciate it.
All right, bye everyone.
All right, have a.
Whoops, cut them off too soon. But thank you, everyone. We really appreciate it as always. I really appreciate the support. And I hope you guys found some information in this and really able to, keep the healthier pet up. So if you have any questions at all, always feel free to email me. I'll put my email here, as I always do. Email me anytime. And with that, we are done with our first live show of 2022. And guess what? Fun's not over yet. I'll see you guys on Monday. We're going to be talking about brushing your pet's teeth. That's going to be a fun one.